still there?
Might as well be now.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Kill it. Okay, I guess for Thomas's purposes, our mics will work with this. So for the radio broadcast, we'll.
You need to call the telephone to the radio station back.
Okay, I just did. We'll do what we did before. We'll just monitor all over the speaker and do it that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. These work. So Thomas will have.
Boom, 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 boom.
I don't hear anything, Jeremiah.
We now direct your attention to the home field trackside for the
Yes,
performance
sir.
of your award-winning Wilson Central dance team.
I can't. What's that?
I don't know. It's just making a connection.
Okay, we're prepared to do this on the phone, so I'll call Jeremiah back. All right. This may be the straw. This may be the straw.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'll call back on that old.
Lebanon Central Football.
This may do it.
Well, I'm
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Defensively for Lebanon tonight. Front once again for Lebanon will be Stafford, Greer, and Moore. Offensively for Lebanon tonight, TJ Searcy starts at split receiver. He's a junior. Gabe Allen starts at left tackle. He's a senior. Giovanni Luna Garcia will be at left guard. He is a senior. Blake Mofield, a senior, is the center. Dwayne White is a senior at right guard. And Sutton Heisley, a senior, will play at right tackle. Wide receiver, John Binion, senior. Sniffer, or the H-back, Brecken Rogers, a junior. Running back, Gianna Zetta, sophomore. Tight end, Abram Thompson, a junior. Tailback will be Deuce Edwards, a senior. And the quarterback, Isaiah Mariah, a senior. Edwards on the season, 590 yards on 84 rushing attempts. He averages 6.7 per. He scored 5 touchdowns. Caught 7 passes for 34 and a touchdown. That's the starting offensive and defensive looks for the Blue Devils this evening here at Wildcat Stadium. Let's take a 1-minute commercial break. 1 minute and we'll be back. You're listening to Blue Devil Football on WANT, WCOR Lebanon.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Lebanon High. Starting at defensive end will be Kylan Davis, 6 foot 252 senior. Defensive tackle will be Scott Middleton, 6 foot 178 senior. Starting at the nose, 8 senior. And at defensive end will be Evan Bragg, 6'2", 190. He is senior. Linebackers for Wilson Central tonight, Topher Allen, 6'3", 193 senior. Mike linebacker will be A.J. Schoenbachler, 6 foot 209 junior. And at outside linebacker, Colton White, 6 foot 177 senior. Starting at one corner will be Mike Palmer, 6 foot 157 junior. And the other corner will be Colton Crawford, 5'9", 142 senior. Strong safety, Chaz Martin, 5'10", 165 junior. And the free safety, Evan Harwell, 6 foot 153 senior. Up front for Wilson Central defensively, Kylan Davis, Scott Middleton, Preston Maddox, and Evan Bragg. Let's take a 2-minute break, 2 minutes, and we'll be back with the starting offensive set for Wilson Central after telling you you're listening to Blue Devil Football on WANT WCOR Lebanon.
You can't hold it like that. You grab that frog by the back leg like that right there, and then you hold it. That's some good frog. Grab yours like that.
Wave at the camera, boys. Y'all be on TV here this week.
Hey folks, Jake Davis here with Southern Woods and Waters. We're down visiting beautiful Dayton, Tennessee on behalf of Fish Dayton.
Brad, second left, little strike, dude. White back. A little white back.
Two backs with him in the backfield. Run the option to the near side. They try a reverse and the ball's loose.
Just typical. We are moments away from the toss of the coin here at Wildcat Stadium as Lebanon and Wilson Central play in the Week 7 contest. Both schools will be on fall break next week. Captains and the officials are making their way toward the field. We should be able to hear Joe on the video broadcast. Joe, I'm going to pot your mic up just for old time's sake and see if we've got anything. Your mic should be hot.
Can you hear me, Tommy?
I do.
Thank you, buddy. I was getting a little late information here. Let me give your, as the fireworks go off in the end zone here, let me give you your captains first for tonight's game. Captains for Wilson Central is Evan Harwell, number 1. Number 12 is Josh Lechner. Number 15, Dylan Brown. And number 72, Braden Taylor. Now, captains for your Lebanon Blue Devils. Number 56, Gabe Allen. Number 50, Giovanni Luna Garcia. Number 66, Blake Mofield. And number 58, Sutton Hinesley. Your officials for tonight's game. Your man on the clock is Kyle Reed. Linesman's Neil Hughes. Your line judge tonight, Mike Bennett. Umpire is Peter Keating. Your back judge is Jimmy Melton. And your referee tonight is Kevin Dyer. They are getting the flip of the coin and have made the introductions. Wilson Central has won the toss. They are going to elect to receive. We are going to kick right to left as you look at the football field. Tommy, there's not a lot of mystery about this game. I mean, both of us, I know, would rather be in a better spot, but this goes a long way toward how we're going to finish this season and where we're going to end up. Weather-wise, we're not in a hurricane. I'll say that. And a little warm, but other than that, nice night. Crowds filling in a little bit. I'm ready for a ball game. Tommy, back up to you.
Thanks, Joe. Joe Gardner. We've got a connection with Joe for our video feed, perhaps not for our audio feed back to WANT control. I will say I think we've shown a great deal of restraint, not starting to throw equipment out windows tonight, but you do what you got to do. Lebanon across the way, dressed in white headgear, white jerseys, blue numerals, and blue football pants. Wilson Central, the first year they've worn white headgear. They had been in the gold helmets since the school opened. White headgear, blue numerals, gold pants, white numerals. Ben Kuhn is the head coach here at Wilson Central. Bob Lee to my left, Donald Gann to my right. I'm Tommy Bryan, and we will be bringing you Blue Devil football here on WANT and WCOR Lebanon. Both teams come into this one 2-4. Lebanon 1-2 in the region. Wilson Central 0-2.
Well, Tommy, the first quarter of tonight's game is sponsored by the Lebanon Police Department and Chief Mike Justice. The men and women in blue are proud to support the Big Blue.
Wilson Central will receive. Lebanon will kick with the scoreboard and 8:40 at their back. Kicking for the Blue Devils tonight, Tristan Phillips. Deep to return for the Wildcats. They will have two men deep. Chaz Martin on the far side, and the kick will be aimed toward Martin, who will field it at the 3-yard line. Martin to the 10, 15, 20, and he will fight his way almost to the 30-yard line. Chaz Martin on the return for Wilson Central. 28-yard line is where they will scrimmage. 1st and 10. Wilson Central makes their way to the line of scrimmage at the 28. Stoll is the center. Full house backfield look for Wilson Central. They will now shift to a tight end right, flanker left set. Motion, play fake, throw it out in the flat. Pass is caught by Chaz Martin, and he'll pick up a couple of yards, but that's all as Lebanon will hustle a couple of defenders over to him. Busby among those, first to arrive on the scene. Basically 1 yard on that play.
But trying to run the quick screen, and when they did, our cornerback did a really good job of fighting through that block by the wide out to get over there and make the tackle.
Chaz Martin will split wide right. Whistle pre-snap. Let's see what we've got. They are sending a player off because his knee brace is not covered. Topher Allen has an exposed knee brace, and they are sending him off the field for being improperly dressed or not having the right equipment. Up front for Lebanon, Stafford, Greer, and Moore. Outside linebackers, Simpkins and Wilson, McPeak and Jewell, the inside linebackers. Two receivers will go left for Central. Mayfield in the gun. Tailback, cuts it back up the middle, has a little bit of running room, and running that football for Wilson Central will be Chico McKeithen.
He'll get out to the 34-yard line.
McKeithen on a little cutback will bring up a 3rd down and 5. Football at the 34-yard line. Opening possession of the football game for Wilson Central. Split receiver goes left. Leshner will be the tight end on the right, and he's got a mitt on that right hand. Play fake. Reverse. Comes to the near side. That's Allen. Allen will be forced out of bounds. He's not going to have his first down.
Shouldn't that have been third? Shouldn't that have been 3rd down?
It'll be 4th down.
Yeah. They only had 2 on the box. It's 4th down, yeah.
4th down coming, and Wilson Central will go into punt formation. Punter, Ferrum, F-E-H-R-M-A-N, Ferrum. Snapper will be J.R. Arnold. Busby will be back to return this punt for Lebanon. High punt. Busby gets away from it. It's going to hit and take a really good Wilson Central bounce inside the Lebanon 30 down to the 28-yard line.
Well, Tommy, we got good field position to start this drive. Our defense did their job. Got them to a 3 and out. Starting at our own 28-yard line. Pretty good job by our defense.
Up front for Lebanon, Allen, Luna Garcia, Mofield, White, and Hinesley. 2 receivers go right.
Let's go, oh! Come on, oh! Come block, they come block your ass. Good receiver.
Tailback, Edwards tries to get on the right edge. Edwards with a little bit of a hop step, and he will run it to about the 31-yard line into the Lebanon sideline.
Stopped by number 1 Evan Harwell and a host of Wildcats.
Deuce Edwards, leading rusher for Lebanon so far this season. Call it a gain of 2 to the 31-yard line. 32-yard line, excuse me. Mariah will put Edwards on his right hip. There's a wing left set. Edwards runs left, now cuts it back inside. Edwards churning for yardage, and he will run it to about the 36-yard line.
Leave him just a couple yards short of the first down.
Kylan Davis on the tackle for Wilson Central, along with Evan Bragg.
All right, Central fans, on your feet.
3rd down and about 2 to go for the first. Football will be spotted at the 36 of Lebanon. 2 receivers go wide right for Lebanon. Tight end and a sniffer back on the left. Edwards tries to hit it in there, and he does. He's got his first down across the 40-yard line. Ran it behind the block of Gabe Allen and Giovanni Luna Garcia.
And he's just one arm tackle away from going to the house on that one. They did a good job of holding on to him, but as he broke through that first layer of defense, he almost broke it.
Line of scrimmage will be the 42-yard line. Lebanon started this drive at their own 28. 8:16 to go in the first quarter. Lebanon's opening drive after holding Wilson Central on a 3 and out. J.D. Stafford will be a flanker on the right. Fake the reverse. Edwards off left guard will run it to the 45-yard line.
Yep. Pickup of 3.
Bragg. Gain of 2.
Oh, no, they say 2.
2nd and 8.
He got 3.
Split receiver left, 2 receivers right. There's a tight end and a flanker on the right side. Here comes the reverse. Fake the reverse. Mariah wants to throw. Has a man down there. That ball is going to be incomplete. Intended for T.J. Searcy. Fake the reverse action in the backfield. And Searcy, the only deep man in the route, drew a
Just got to get a little bit more air underneath the ball. Let him run underneath it. Just overthrew him.
All right, fans, on your feet, make some noise.
Brecken Rogers checks out into the game for Lebanon as a blocking back. Quentin Moore. Yard to make is the 48-yard line of Wilson Central. Lebanon will snap it at their own 45. One back in the backfield. Mariah wants to throw. Here comes pressure. He dodges one man, makes another one miss. Isaiah's on a scramble, breaks it down toward the numbers, and he will be taken down short of his first down. He got it to the 50. As pressure came through quickly, and he broke to his right, trying to pick up some room.
Yeah, he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down, but we may leave the offense on the field.
It's fourth down. That brings up a fourth down.
Brecken Rogers comes back in the game for Lebanon at the sniffer back position.
Salts. Make some noise for fourth down.
Ball at the 50. Yard to make would be the 48, so 2 yards to pick up. Slot left set for Lebanon. Binion and Searcy will go left. Timeout Lebanon. Timeout on the field with 6:25 to go in the first quarter. There is no score. We will leave it right here.
Well, the Blue Devil Football Foundation thanks the CRNAs at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, along with Isaiah Moore, for providing team meals this week. The help restock the Blue Devil Pantry. Please call Darren Reynolds at 615-218-0790.
Fourth down and 2 for Lebanon at the 50-yard line. So they gave Mariah no gain on that play. Fourth down. Searcy will split wide left.
All right, fans, on your feet, make some noise. It's fourth down.
Mariah in the gun has Edwards behind him in a pistol set. Lebanon moved. I think they were trying to draw Wilson Central off, and one of the linemen flinched. So here comes the punt team for the Blue Devils.
I think they're going to get Luna Garcia jumping a little early.
Move the football back to the 45. Lowry will snap it. Phillips will punt it. Punt is away. Going to take a Lebanon bounce, and the return man will field it on a hop.
He was waving the fair catch.
Blevins with that fair catch. And Wilson Central will take over at their own 24-yard line. Two teams swapping field position here. Next week, no broadcast as Lebanon and all the other Wilson County schools, including the privates, will be enjoying fall break. Wilson Central takes over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. No score. Mayfield is the quarterback. They will shift a tight end and a wing back from left to right. Tailback comes this way. Chico McKeithen cut it back inside. Allen, check it. That was Simpkins on the tackle for Lebanon.
Yeah, he wanted to get outside. We did a good job of stringing him out. He had to cut back toward the middle, and we had reinforcements coming from the middle of the field.
Chico McKeithen had been their primary ball carrier earlier in the season. He's been a little bit banged up. He's back in action tonight against Lebanon. Split receiver goes wide right. One back in the backfield with Mayfield. That's a pass. That was a flip. They're going to.
It's incomplete.
It bounced off the runner. It looked like they were trying to run the jet sweep out of a little underhanded flip action. And that is going to be the call. Ferrum was, for lack of a better term, the intended receiver. They brought him across in what would be a jet sweep, but it was an underhanded toss, and it hit him breadbasket knee, popped around, got loose, but that is an incomplete pass for Mayfield.
So it will stay at 3rd and 9 now.
Ferrum will split wide right. They'll have a receiver on the left, Mayfield in the backfield. They will shift Leshner to the left, and there is a timeout being called by Wilson Central. They could not get aligned properly, so Central will take a timeout. We'll take a 30 as well. 30-second break, 5:14 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back with more. This is Blue Devil football.
And your favorite day spa will surprise you with some day spa love. Third Coast Salt Day Spa is a proud sponsor of Wilson Central High School Wildcats. Score a touchdown with a gift card for your favorite athlete, coach, or fan, as everybody loves Third Coast Salt Day Spa. That's
this is kind of taking some of the edge off the broadcast.
A little bit. But
what do you?
7th game. How many games does this happen?
Blue Devil football on WANT. Wilson Central looking at a 3rd down and 9 from their own 23-yard line. No score in this football game. Mayfield, the quarterback, he'll be in the gun. Split receiver left and right. Mayfield wants to throw. Pressure, throws it deep down the middle of the field, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Allen. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down for the Wildcats. Arnold will be in to snap this punt. Ferrum in punt formation for Wilson Central. J.D. Stafford to return for Lebanon.
Stafford deep to receive.
Snap is there. Punts away. Low end over end deal. It's going to hit and roll. Stafford will let it roll inside the 40 to the 38-yard line of Lebanon.
At the 39-yard line. 38-yard line of Lebanon.
Lebanon takes over 1st and 10. Blue Devils' second possession of the game. No score in this one. We are in the Glade. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. You're listening to Blue Devil football on WANT and WCOR Lebanon by way of my Android phone. Empty backfield. Mariah will send 3 left. Catch. Could not make the catch. The throw was low. The intended receiver went down low to try to grab it. And because he went so low, he had a knee on the ground. That was Binion, the intended receiver. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 from the 38. Same set. 2 receivers left, 2 right. There is a back in the backfield. That is Deuce Edwards. 1 high safety for Wilson Central. Edwards, right side, still churning, runs it across the 45 and will have it out near the 50 for a Blue Devil 1st down. Good second effort by Deuce Edwards.
Just didn't give up on the play, Tommy. He kept his legs moving the whole time he had tackle on him, and he was carrying the defenders with him all the way to the 50-yard line.
Harrison Deuce Edwards taking the fight to Wilson Central. Ball will be spotted at the 50. They had it at the 49 of Central. They move it back to the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Blue Devils. Searcy splits wide right along with Binion. Tight end and a blocking back on the left. Mariah hands the football off to the left. Running hard for Lebanon down to around the 46-yard line. Edwards on that carry. Check it. That was Azita. Gian Azita off left tackle. Had a 9-yard touchdown run last week at Watertown under wet conditions.
Crawford comes up and makes the stop for Wilson Central, the corner over on this side.
2 receivers left. Azita will be in a slot on the left. So Mariah will be in the backfield by himself. Inside handoff. Comes to the near side. That's Deuce Edwards. Edwards cuts it back against the grain. Edwards has gone to the house. I don't see a flag. Touchdown, Big Blue, as Deuce Edwards came on a reverse action and took it in for a Blue Devil touchdown.
Pretty.
46 yards on that touchdown run for Deuce Edwards. And Joe, the radio audience cannot hear your call.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it for both of us. We're operating on the Android tonight.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout, Lebanon. Lebanon will take a timeout. We will leave it here as Edwards scores on a 46.
Lebanon's Lady Devils volleyball team has earned the number 2 seed in next week's District 7 AAA tournament at Laverne High School. Lebanon will play in Tuesday's 4 p.m. semifinals against the survivor of Warren County, Smyrna, and White County. A win on Tuesday will send the Lady Devils to the district finals and on to the regional tournament. Also, thanks to LHS graduate Kenny Salas and the Salas Realty Group, located at 120 Public Square. Whether you're buying or selling, visit salasrealtygroup.com.
Lebanon over the football. Lebanon's going to go for 2.
No, he's kicking.
No, okay. Lowry will snap it to Mariah. Phillips, snap, spot, kick it up. And it is good. So with 3:30 to go in the first quarter, Lebanon draws first blood. It's Blue Devils 7, Wilson Central nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Phillips will kick it off for Lebanon.
Deep to Central, Palmer and Martin.
Palmer will be the return man on the near hash, Martin on the far hash. Kick is angled toward Martin, who will field it at the 4. Breaks his way back up toward the middle of the field. Binion there on the stop for Lebanon. And good work by the coverage team.
Out to about the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 Wildcats as they trail in this one 7-0. Ball at the 22-yard line of Wilson Central. Roberts, Forum, Stoll, Kenneth, and Taylor up front for Wilson Central. They will shift and set up a tight end and a wing and a tight bunch on the right side. Penalty, illegal procedure, Wilson Central. I don't know that they were set for a full count before the ball was snapped.
Actually, it was kind of more of a illegal.
That'll back them up 5. 1st down and 15. 17-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Split receiver goes wide right for Central. Now he comes in motion across the set. Play fake. Mayfield throws it complete to McKeithern, and he goes nowhere. Lebanon had a couple of defenders right there as Devontae Wilson immediately on the scene to take down Chico McKeithern.
He's going to lose 4 yards on the play. Make it 2nd and
19.
A bunch.
Mayfield looked left and then reversed, did a 360 and threw it back out to his right, trying to fool the defense with a Lebanon smelled that one out. 2 receivers right. Motion, give that football to Chaz Martin on a jet sweep, and Martin will be taken down. Jawan Stafford on the tackle for Lebanon along with Busby. Picked up 10, but they needed about 19. 3rd down and about 11 to go for the Wildcats. 2:02 to go in the first quarter here at Wilson Central.
They haven't attempted a pass. Oh, yes, they have. One overthrow, yeah.
That's the only one downfield. They've got a couple of screens.
He's 0 for 4.
0 for 4. That's
0 for 5.
That's 0 for 5 right there. Is again, they tried the little toss action on what most folks would call a jet sweep, but because there is a pitch involved.
Whoa. They're marking the ball back like it was a fumble. That was a pass.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that was a pass, but they're calling that a fumble. They're losing yards on that one.
Yeah.
Well, scratch it. And that is a fumble on the play. Furman will punt it away. Wobbler. Short kick. Lebanon gets away from it, and it is downed in Wilson Central territory. 36-yard line of Wilson Central. So Lebanon has got wonderful field position to start this drive with 1:03 to go in the first quarter, leading the Wildcats by a score of 7-0. Central has scored 6 points over their last 3 games. Offense has been a struggle for the Wildcats. Slot right set for Lebanon. Mariah in the gun, has a back behind him. Give it to that back. That was the flea flicker, and that thing has gone to pieces, and Wilson Central has recovered.
Whew. We tried to hand
No, we got it back.
Lebanon got it back. I thought that Leshner had a shot at recovering that. They were trying to flea flicker.
Yeah, they handed it off to the running back. He runs up to the line of scrimmage, turns around to pitch it back to the quarterback, and when he did, it wasn't a good pitch. Mariah can't pick it up. Then somebody else knocks the ball away, and we're all the way back to our own 47.
So the line of scrimmage had been the 36. Now it's back to the Lebanon 47. Standard offensive play. Turn around and hand that thing to Deuce Edwards, who will run it across the 50 to the 47-yard line.
Stopped by number 50, Davis.
That's it.
That's the end of the first quarter right there. Lebanon leads Wilson Central by a score of 7-0. We'll take a 60-second break after telling you you're listening to Blue Devil Football on WANT WCOR Lebanon. Motion, give that football to Chaz Martin on a jet sweep, and Martin will be taken
A kind
down.
word, a firm
Jawan
handshake,
Stafford
and treating
on the
others the
tackle
way
for
you'd want to be
Lebanon,
treated.
along with Busby.
That's just how we do things in Tennessee.
Picked up 10,
We're Farm
but they
Bureau
needed
Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Thomas, I turned off the Comrex and trying to reboot it. Blue Devil Football on WANT WCOR. Second quarter getting ready to get underway here at Wilson Central.
Well, in second quarter tonight is brought to you by Shop Springs Creamery, 2816 Sparta Pike, where the corn maze is now open. Shop Springs Creamery is the official chocolate milk of the Blue Devil football team.
Lebanon will send 3 receivers to the right, 2 left. Empty backfield for Mariah.
Penalty on the play.
Illegal procedure, Lebanon. I didn't see movement. I wonder if we were lined up improperly.
I think we did move right before the snap. I think more than one.
It's 3rd and long. All right, fans, on your feet. Next.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Well, the Comrex is okay. Let's see what it's got for me now.
All right, fans, on your feet.
All right, 2 receivers right, 3 left for Lebanon. Empty backfield. Central has 1 high safety. Edwards on a jet sweep of the left end. Edwards will run that football to about the 35-yard line, where he will be ridden out of bounds by Wilson Central.
You're going to pick up about 16 on the play, so make it 4th and 10.
It'll be 4th down.
Spreading them out and trying to give Deuce a running lane.
All right, that'll bring up a 4th down, brought to you by the Wildcat defense, and Third Coast Salt makes some noise for 4th down.
Okay, we should have our Comrex back, at least for the radio side of the broadcast, except for the video side of the broadcast. Lebanon looking at a 4th down and 10. Line of scrimmage will be the 36 of Wilson Central. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Edwards in the backfield with Mariah. Edwards will set up on his right hip. Whistle. Timeout Lebanon.
Timeout Lebanon.
Tommy, with that last run, Edwards has run the ball 8 times for 102 yards.
And we're not even to halftime yet. We will.
We're just starting the second quarter.
Keep it right here, yeah.
Yeah, we're just, 33 seconds into the second quarter and already got 100 yards.
Pediatric orthopedics to sports medicine to joint pain and are conveniently
Tommy?
located throughout Middle Tennessee.
Lebanon High Softball invites girls between the ages of 6 and 12 to attend the annual Spooktacular Softball Camp Tuesday, October the 29th. Registration opens at 5:30 with instruction getting underway at 6:30. Bring your costume for a contest and enjoy a truck or treat. Cost is $30 per player. For more information, visit GoBlueDevilsAthletics.com.
Jody Atwood and his staff do a wonderful job of making that a fun night of softball and trick-or-treating with a lot of candy and goodies for the kids. 4th down and 10. Lebanon will go for it. They'll leave the offense on the field. Mariah sets up a screen. Edwards on the left side. Edwards has running room. He's got a 1st down. Deuce is loose, and he takes it in for a touchdown, Big Blue. How about that? They ran the screen. They let them all come in, Bob, and it was well executed.
Yeah, they had a lot of pressure coming up the middle, and he kind of looked to his right, and he gets pressure in his face, and then he dumped it over to the left over there to Edwards, and he just picking them up and laying them down all the way to the end zone. 11-16.
Early in the second quarter, Lowry will snap it to Mariah. Snap it, spot it, kick it up. And it is good by Tristan Phillips, and Lebanon goes on top 14-0 with 11:16 to go in the first half. We'll take a 30-second break, and we will be right back.
Test 1, 2. All right.
Test 1. All right, Lebanon strikes again with 11:16 in the second quarter. Mariah with a 36-yard TD pass to Edwards. Phillips with a PAT is good. That was 64 yards in 6 plays. Lebanon now 14, Wilson Central 0.
And Joe, if you can hear us, I think we've got the Comrex back engaged. So here we go. Kick will settle to Martin at the 10. 15, 20, 25. He will be hit as he runs it near the Wilson Central boundary. He'll be down there.
Where's he at?
We'll get it. We'll get it.
At the 25.
Line of scrimmage will be at the 25-yard line. 15-yard, 26 as they move it across You need a little more volume there? Okay. All of a sudden, the equipment starts working.
I think that's what scared me.
Central will have 2 receivers split on the left. 2 on the right. Mayfield in the backfield. He sends Martin in motion. Cross action in the backfield. McKeithen has a nice little run. He breaks it out near the 50-yard line where he will be belted out of bounds there by Busby. But good misdirection in the backfield by Wilson Central as they faked the jet and then gave it back to McKeithen coming across the grain.
That was a well-executed play, Tommy. They pulled the guard out there, lead around the corner, and he was able to find some daylight on the outside, pick up a good large yardage.
Motion back to the near side. McKeithen off the right side. Again has running room, and he will run it to the 44-yard line of Lebanon. Stafford on the tackle along with McPeak.
Stop by number 14, McPeak. Gain of 5. It's 2nd and 5.
See if I get that crowd mic engaged. Okay, there we go. Second down, and about a long 4 to go for Central. They will have it at the Lebanon 44-yard line. Mayfield in the backfield, in the gun. Whistle pre-snap. Let's see what we've got. Illegal procedure, Central.
We don't have a play clock, do we?
5-yard penalty. It'll be 2nd and 10.
You know, you're right. I didn't notice that. Central doesn't have play clocks on the field.
They've got it. They're just not working, I guess. I see one right there, that piling right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not on. Yeah, there's one over there, too, at that piling.
Okay. Inoperable. Well, there's a window over here that doesn't work either while they're at it. Slot right set, tight end on the left for the Wildcats. Mayfield in the gun, play fake, throws a hot pass over the middle.
Carter McPeak.
McPeak got a hand on that thing. He is awfully active. And, Bob, a lot of sophomores getting a lot of good work for this football team.
Yeah, you're right. And McPeak, his you have kind of seen him progress as the season has gone on and getting a little more sure of himself there in the middle of the field and at that linebacker spot. And coming in, he didn't, he was green to it. He played at the middle school level, played quarterback.
Got a flag over there. They're talking to the coach. Referee's got the flag in his hand.
Ineligible. They'll decline it.
The penalty was ineligible receiver downfield. That penalty is declined. It is 3rd down.
Third down and 9 to go for Central. They will snap it at the Lebanon 49-yard line. Mayfield, quick drop, wants to throw, cranks it up, goes deep, has a man back there. That is picked off. Lebanon will pick it off. There's a flag on that play. Making that interception for Lebanon was Austin Harrison, but that may be coming back. Harrison went high in the air and made that pick, but a flag came out simultaneously to the interception.
It is pass interference against Lebanon.
They're calling that on Harrison.
And the result of that play
on Austin Harrison.
First down.
And that's a first down by penalty for Wilson Central. Ball will be spotted at the 34-yard line. First and 10 Wildcats. 9:16 to go in the first half. Lebanon leads 14-0. Chaz Martin will split wide right. Allen splits wide left. McKeithen in the backfield with Mayfield.
False start Central. That'll be a
False start on Wilson Central.
Wow.
Joe, there's not really a lot of flow to this football game the way things are going. Okay, hooking back up. We'll get to you in a minute there, Joe. First and 15 after the penalty. McKeithen will be in the backfield with Mayfield. Mayfield wants to throw. Pressured. He's going to be taken down. Juwan.
Brought down by Stafford.
You know, that's a coverage sack right there because he had a little bit of time, and our defensive backs did a good job of covering those receivers downfield. It's taking too long for him to get rid of that football and allowed Stafford to get to him for the sack.
Well, and the offensive line can only hold him out for so long.
Exactly right.
Mayfield gets the play from the sideline, signaled in. Slot left, wing right, one back in the backfield with Mayfield. Four-man front for Lebanon, now motion across the way. McKeithen runs into the middle of that Lebanon defensive group, not much there. Check it, that was Chaz Martin on that carry. Those two have been interchangeable.
Martin with the carry, correction, gain of 4. Will be third down.
Out of the game, Cameron Nichols, a receiver for Wilson Central. McKeithen comes in. Third down and 17 to go for the first. Mayfield in the gun, four-man front for Lebanon. Mayfield wants to throw. Down here on the boundary, finds Allen for the catch, and he will have that football. They will stop the clock, and that should be enough for a Wilson Central first down.
It just got open, just was wide open, didn't have anybody around him.
And Mayfield got some time on that one.
Yep, and threw a good strike right there to his receiver.
Mayfield coming off that knee injury. He played one game last year, missed the entire season with a knee injury.
Who caught that?
0, Allen. Slot left. Now they will shift the tight end and the blocking back from left to right. Ball at the 23-yard line. Tailback. Short gain for McKeithen. He will run it to the 21. Gain of 2 for Chico.
Stop by number 46.
You know, Tommy, it looked like that time he had two linemen that were pulling to the left. And as soon as he had the ball handed off, instead of following them, he went right off their tail and went to the right. And just didn't have much there, really.
And a lot of times, a back blocks developed for him. Maybe that's a 6-yard gain instead of not being able to get much on that one at all.
Exactly.
Leshner with that big mitt on his right hand will shift from right to left. Play fake. Mayfield wants to throw under pressure. Ball almost intercepted. Busby cut across the intended receiver and very nearly had a pick as Taylor Rao was the intended receiver, but Busby right on the spot.
Had his hands all over it. All he had to do was bring it in.
Joe, so many penalties tonight. It's tough to get a flow in this football game.
It is, guys, and again, just rivalry game this way, and teams still trying to find their way. New kids still be putting in new positions, and that's kind of where we're at.
Mayfield in the gun. Tailback runs left. That's McKeithen. He'll run it to the 15-yard line.
McKeithen with the carry. Brought down by number 14, McPeak.
McPeak on that tackle along with Austin Harrison.
Gain of 7.
The 16 or the 17-yard line.
And
call that about 4 to go for the first. Stafford, Greer, and Moore up front for Lebanon. Greer playing the nose tonight.
I believe they're going to call time, Tommy, and talk about this one on 4th down. They're in plenty field goal range, but I think they realize with a score of 14-0, and sometimes their offense doesn't get down here a lot, they may want to try to go for 7, Tommy.
timeout.
Tell you what, let's do. Let's take a 30-second break. We have got 3:56 to go in the first half. Lebanon leads 14-0 Central at the Lebanon 17. We'll take a 30-second break, and we will return.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
EWCOR Lebanon into the first quarter at Pirtle Field. Bob, we've got a score.
Yep, it sure do, Tommy. Into one, it's Providence Christian 21 and Friendship Christian 21. All tied up.
Central will leave the offense on the field. It's a 4th and 4 at the 17 of Lebanon. McKeithen will set up on the right hip of Mayfield. Mayfield wants to throw. Throws it back. That's going to be caught, and that should be enough for that first down. Allen on a little comeback route working against Busby. Pushed Busby up the field and then brought it back. The gain will be down to they're going to spot it at the 10-yard line.
Right on the 10.
So a gain of 7. They needed 4, they got 7. Wildcats in business, 1st and goal at the Lebanon 10-yard line.
Lots of cushion on our edges.
Mayfield hands that football. That's Chaz Martin. He will be ridden out of bounds. Jewell on that stop, along with Azita.
Brought down by Jewell.
Gain will be to the 5-yard line. Gain of 5 for Chaz Martin.
5.
Topher Allen checks back in for Central. He'll be split left. McKeithen will be in a slot on the left. Tight end and blocking back will shift left, so they are overset to the left. They run left, and he's hit just as he reaches the 5-yard line. Stafford and Moore was there, along with Austin Harrison. Carrying the football for Wilson Central was Chaz Martin. Picked up a yard down to the 4. Trying to get Lebanon outnumbered on the edge.
you know, when they made that shift and the tight end and the sniffer back moved over to the other side, you could see Deontay Wilson motioning for people to shift over to his side.
Split receiver right. Now a slot on the right. Ball's at the 4. Handed off to Martin. Missed a tackle in the backfield, but Lebanon forces him out of bounds. They keep the clock running. The gain is going to be down to the 3-yard line for Chaz Martin.
And that'll be 4th and goal. And they don't have any timeouts left.
No, they've used all 3.
1:28 to go in the first half. Clock running. Mayfield comes to the sideline to get the play to make sure he's got it right. Central will be overset to the left. Power set left. Antoine Chico McKeithen for the touchdown. They line all those extra blockers, and that's going to be a touchdown, Wilson Central. Central with a score with 1:02 to go in the first half of play. Joe, you've got the call of this PAT attempt by Wilson Central.
Thank you, Tommy. Number 88, Lawson Brewer, on to attempt number 16. Gavin Mayfield will put it down. Snap. Spots down. Kick is a low line drive, and it's going to be no good. It is going to miss wide left. 1:02 to go in the half. It's your Blue Devils 14. The Wildcats 6. We'll be back in 30.
And treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
All right, Wilson Central answers back on a 75-yard, 17-play drive. McKeithen goes in from the 2-yard line. Brewer with the PAT, and it was no good. So with 1:02 remaining in the first half, it's now your Lebanon Blue Devils 14, Wilson Central 6.
Francisco Monterey set to kick for the Wildcats.
There's your boy kicking off.
Yeah.
Francisco
Monterey.
Yeah. Monterey. Monterey will kick it off.
Stafford deep to receive.
Stafford deep to return along with Edwards. Left-footed kicker. Drills a line drive. Stafford will pick it up on the 3rd bounce at the 11. Stafford looking for running room back up the middle. JD's got some running room. They've thrown a flag as he crosses the 50-yard line. He's going to take it all the way to the house for an apparent touchdown, but there is a flag down as J.D. Stafford fielded that football on the 3rd bounce on the near hash and took it up the Lebanon sideline for an apparent touchdown, but they've got a hold on Lebanon.
Oh, that's on Jaden Stafford.
Totally on the totally opposite end of the field.
Yeah.
It'll be first down, Lebanon.
The way they block that is if the return man is deep, the kids on the Lebanon sideline will try to come across. It's almost a cross block.
Yeah.
As they're crossing in the middle, and if the return man has a little bit of patience and let those things develop, it opens up. But had the hold regardless. Pretty good field position for Lebanon at their own 32 with 1:02 to go in the first half. Lebanon leads Central by a score of 14-6. Lebanon will motion to 3 receivers left. Empty backfield for Isaiah Mariah. Hand it to Edwards on a little inside reverse action. Edwards will draw a crowd.
He's got 10, 12.
It'll depend on the spot as Deuce opted to put a foot in the ground and try to run it right up the middle. The gain will be from the 32
to the 43.
43.
Lebanon, no timeouts. Clock is ticking down to 35 seconds.
First and 10, Lebanon. Edwards again off the left side, cuts it back. Gosh. Edwards with a burst, and he's got another first down to stop the clock. He runs it to the Wilson Central 46-yard line.
It's another 11 or 12 yards.
Down by A.J. Schoenbachler. It will be first down Lebanon.
Lebanon quickly to the line of scrimmage. Trying to snap. They were trying to kill the clock with out of the shotgun, and the snap bounced back to Mariah, who promptly caught it and spiked it as if to stop the clock. They're going to call that incomplete pass and stop the clock. That was the intent. Whether it was executed or not, smarter folks than me are going to have to figure that one out. The officials have huddled.
Execution being a key phrase there.
Going to be an illegal forward pass now. They're going to have to explain that to Chuck Gentry. Illegal forward pass, Lebanon.
They're saying the quarterback has to catch the snap to spike it, in which it didn't. It rolled back there, therefore the infraction.
So it's a bad snap.
On me.
That's a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snap infraction.
Snap infraction.
20, Lebanon.
Well, it stopped the clock,
Yeah.
which was
that was
the intent.
Yeah.
But Lebanon's now got it at their own 45-yard line after the penalty. 3 receivers will go right. Quick pass in the flat. Gian looks for running room, tries to get it out of bounds, and will be driven out of bounds.
He got out of bounds. He got a first down, too, I think.
He got back to the original stick.
Excuse me.
To the original line of scrimmage, or close to it.
Azzetto with the reception from Mariah.
9 seconds to go here in the first half. Lebanon leads Wilson Central 14-6. Stay with us at halftime. I've got an interview with Brooke Pickler, head coach of the Lebanon High volleyball team.
What's the flag here?
What did we?
Well, let's see here.
Holding, okay.
Backs up Lebanon.
All the way back to the 35.
Lebanon.
Start the clock. It'll run it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take a knee right here. Just end this one. Isaiah will take a knee and end it right there. Lebanon will go to the locker room with a 14-6 lead over Wilson Central here in Gladeville. We'll take a 2-minute commercial break, 2 minutes, and we will be right back.
A firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
You give the score.
To nothing. That with 5:18 to go in the second quarter. Providence Christian leading Friendship Christian by a score of 33-29. That's about midway through the second quarter. And let's see. I guess that's all. That's all we've got right here. So Lebanon leading at the half, 14-6 over Wilson Central.
Here's that scoring summary for this game. Deuce Edwards for Lebanon went 46 yards on a touchdown run with 3:30 to go in the first quarter. That ended a 5-play, 62-yard. That ended a oh gosh. That ended a PAT kick. Lebanon led 7-0. Mariah with a 36-yard touchdown pass to Deuce Edwards on a screen play. 11:16 to go in the second quarter. 6 plays, 64 yards. Phillips with the PAT. That was good, and Lebanon led 14-0. Central then answered with a 17-play, 75-yard drive. McKeithen went 2 yards on the touchdown run. Brewer's PAT was no good, and with 1:02 to go in the first half, Lebanon led 14-6. I had a chance to talk with Brooke Pickler, the head volleyball coach at Lebanon High, earlier today about her volleyball team and what they've got going on. Let's listen in. Head coach of Lebanon High's volleyball team, and she has been kind enough to take time away from her day job to visit with me as the district tournament starts up on Monday. But Brooke, the Lady Devils have got a 2 seed, and you're waiting for somebody to play, right?
Yes, the girls have worked really hard to earn this 2 seed throughout the season. And so we actually won't play until Tuesday with the winner of White County, and then he's playing either Warren County or Smyrna. So we will have the winner of that matchup.
How has the district been this year? Has it been a pretty competitive bunch to play against?
Oh, absolutely. Our district every single team has gotten better this season. Even lower seeded teams per se have taken sets off the higher seeded teams. So it's really anybody's district tournament to take this year. So it's going to be, whoever shows up to this tournament is really going to be an interesting matchup all the way through.
Well, with an 8-team district and Cookeville and Lebanon having the 1 and 2 seeds, you're waiting for people to play, and you've earned that by the way you've played during the regular season. It's you win one, you go to the finals. You go to the finals, you go to the region, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what actually yesterday in practice we talked a lot about. Do we want one more game or do we want an automatic of 3? So winning 1 gets us 2 more games at district championship in the first round of region. So that's kind of been what our focus is. Do we, 1 game versus 3?
I saw on the schedule kind of a dual match at Oakland. Did that come off earlier in the week?
Yeah, so we played on Wednesday night at Oakland, and Lebanon played Oakland and Siegel, and then Cookeville was also there and played Lebanon and Siegel. These are teams that typically, find themselves somewhere around the region tournament the last 2 years. So we were like, let's match up early, see how this is going to shake out. Oakland is actually not currently at the top of their district, so coming from that district, likely for region, will be that Riverdale team that's sitting at 1 in their district currently.
And I guess that's almost a tournament feel to play one opponent and then turn around and play
somebody else, kind of gets you in that mode.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's kind of what our discussion was when we made this, night thing last year. We set it up and we were like, this would be a great opportunity for us all to just get our minds right and get the team's minds right just for that tournament play going into that. So it was a good setup. Next year, I believe Lebanon will host the same 4 teams.
Talk about the makeup of your volleyball team, Brooke. I know you got some seniors, but there's still a lot of young kids that do a lot of the work.
Absolutely. We have 3 seniors, and our key roles, our big roles, are really young players. Like, we're running a 5-1 off of a freshman setter, which is a very, very hard thing to do. And Hadley Hayes, and she has come in and she's over 500 assists for the season already. So, she has come in and filled a major key role. Libero is a junior, Adeline Smith. She's on her way to about 400 digs this season. And then outside hitter, both outside hitters are sophomores. So we are very, very young. But I will say the seniors have stepped up, and, they do play some key leadership roles and being big time right now, especially being like, hey, we're extending this to 3 games. Like, that is definitely their mindset in pushing that they don't want their senior season to end.
What have been some high points of your season so far, and maybe kind of a not so high point?
I would say, with these young key players having to fit the mold and having to get in and fill big shoes early on, it was definitely a rougher start, but we finally found our groove. Taking Green Hill, who's ranked in the top 10, to 5 sets, that was a huge, huge thing to us. I think that we have played some really great teams, and I really try to seek out the toughest opponents outside of our district to play, and that's why, we might have taken some harder losses, but we've hard fought them every single time, and I think it's just been exciting to see everything that they have really worked hard for. And like I said, in our district, the 8 seed has taken a set off us. It's truly anybody's game, and so while it's hard to see the 8 seed taking a set off the 2 seed, it's just part of our district this year. Everybody is truly working hard and getting better every time we play them, every single time.
District tournament at Laverne. Regional teams, how does that work out? Is it home sites? Is there a central site?
So for region, it alternates. This year is the even district to host, so it will be whoever wins that opposite district in District 8 of the Rutherford County Schools. So that's where region will be hosted this year.
Well, and it's once the tournament play starts, you start sending teams home, and it really gets intense from that point on, because it's not that far until the actual state tournament.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we went over that postseason schedule. It all happens. There will be a state champion in less than 2.5 weeks. So it really all just happens so quickly. And it's, kind of step up or step out kind of time right now for every volleyball team in the state.
Fall break is right upon us. What does that do to practice, matches, preparation, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so it's no secret that high schoolers love to sleep until about 2 p.m. So we make sure that we're up early. We come into the gym, we'll have a light practice, maybe just some serve and pass, just to get them up and out of bed, and then we'll go have a team meal somewhere for lunch, and then we'll head to our games. We'll do that on Monday to go to the award ceremony that happens, and then we'll do that same schedule on Tuesday. So it kind of gives them something to get accustomed to on Monday, and then that's how we'll run our game day schedule on Tuesday, just to make sure we're up and moving and focused on our game.
Talk about that awards ceremony, if you will.
Yeah, so district awards will happen on Monday between the 2 o'clock game and the 4 o'clock game, also at Laverne. With Cookeville and Lebanon not playing on that day, we'll still go and be a part of the awards ceremony.
And you've got kids who are certainly in the running for some all-district type honors.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think we can see a few all-districts coming back here. I think that there is some good conversation for Freshman of the Year. There's a lot of good things that could come back to Lebanon this year, just like last year. I think there's some good awards coming our way.
You're a non-faculty coach. That sometimes has advantages and disadvantages. What are some of the good things that have come out of you being not have to be in the building all day, but then you roll in there and you're ready for practice and that sort of thing?
I think the good thing is, like if our schedule is, a little weird, like I'm able to be there and not having to, worry with the class and like making sure that is covered. And then also I think it also gives me a little bit of trust and camaraderie with other coaches and other teachers in the building, because like I'm really having to rely on them to make sure that I'm, aware of grades, aware of classroom behavior and things like that. And, I think all of our girls teachers really do a great job of keeping me in the loop on that kind of thing, and the other coaches that are there. So I think that's a huge advantage, that I just get to, know everybody in a different way, not as a coworker per se in the building and the classroom, but as someone that, I feel like they're looking out for the girls and keeping me in the loop and stuff, for sure.
Who helps you? Talk about your assistant coaches.
Assistant coaches are Brittany Kimball, my sister, and then a married couple, Jonathan and Kelsey Hill. They're actually from East Tennessee and have been in the Middle Tennessee area for about 3 years, and they have been a huge help. They've done great stuff with the JV. They have full-on handled the JV, and the JV is going into their district tournament tomorrow as the 3 seed. So we're really excited about that. I think there's a bright day tomorrow for this JV squad under the leadership of those two.
You're a product of Lebanon High graduate, and your path to becoming a coach was maybe a little different than other folks, but you opted to go to junior college right out of high school in Florida, and you wound up. Talk about that journey a little bit, about what got you from high school to.
A lot of people in my corner cheering me on, for sure, and just believe in what I wanted to do. I was an 8th grader that knew I wanted to coach volleyball. Even playing under the previous coach, that was the coach before me, Adrienne Dodson. She knew I wanted to come back and coach at Lebanon, and going to junior college, my idea behind the whole thing was I want to play for as many coaches as possible to get as many different insights on this game as I can. And I think it definitely helped shape me into a better coach. And coming back here, AD took me under her wing. I was an assistant at Lebanon for 2 years, went to Watertown for a year under Stephanie Harmon, and then have come back and been a head coach for 3 seasons. But I continue to coach club and just going to coaches' clinics, watching coaching videos, as many things as I can, just to shape and a great coach is ever learning. You're always on the learn, on the move, trying to better the game and stay up to tune, because volleyball is such a growing sport. So I feel like volleyball coaches especially have to always be learning, because the game is just increasingly speeding up and stuff.
You mentioned your club experience. Club volleyball is huge in helping the high school operation.
Oh, absolutely. Just making sure they're having touches year round. Like, kids will leave the high school program and we don't do anything a lot for 4 or 5 months, and then by the time we start our open gyms and stuff, I'm like, where have you been playing? Like, they can truly come back completely different players in one season of playing a club, just depending on what they're willing to put in.
Well, Brooke, best of luck to you and the Lady Devils as tournament play starts on Tuesday. You got the 2 seed. Hey, win a couple of matches, and maybe you'll come out of there as a champ.
Oh, absolutely. That's our plan. We appreciate you, Tommy Bryan, and having me on. Always a pleasure.
Brooke Pickler, head coach of the volleyball program at Lebanon High. We're going to be back after this 1-minute commercial break.
Now JULIET. Zaxby's of South Mount JULIET Road. Martin's Barbecue. Quality Roofing and Restoration Construction. Subway of Slayville.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company. A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
That's 12.4 yards a carry. He also had 2 TDs. He had 1 rushing. He had 1 pass catch for a TD. Our halftime total yards for the first half was Wilson Central had 82 yards.
You've got your chart out. Take a look at the penalty situation tonight because
3 penalties for 15 yards. Lebanon had 5 penalties for 45 yards.
And it didn't seem like any of them came at a very good time. About a minute to go before we'll start this second half of play. Lebanon is not back out on the field yet. 3 minutes or so on the clock. We'll take a 1-minute break. We'll take a 1-minute break and we'll be right back. You're listening to Blue Devil Football on WANT Lebanon. And didn't need that block. Yeah, if you give it time, then you got a chance to get up in there and go.
anytime he touches the ball, he is subject to go the distance, no matter where he is on the field. And that's something that doesn't, that's not going to change. The choppiness of it and not being able to get in a flow, I mean, that's what's so aggravating. It's what's been so aggravating all year. Is you'll take 2 steps forward and take 1 back, and then it's just you can't get any kind of flow into the game. There's no way to get a rhythm going, to get some confidence built up. But hey, this is two and 4 teams that are
2 and 4 for a reason.
Yeah, you're right, and they're both of them are at times. You can tell they're. Don't get me wrong, they're trying to win the football game. I know that. It's just. But, at times it doesn't seem like it when they make the mistakes they make.
At halftime, over at Pirtle Field, there is a shootout going on, and not with weapons, but with athletes, as Friendship leads Providence Christian 38-36 at halftime. Friendship went on top with a halfback pass on the final play of the first half. That one must be something.
Not a lot of defense. Lots of offense. Give you another score right here. Gallatin and Cookville. Gallatin at 2 and 4, Cookville at 5 and 1, and that football game is tied at the half, 14-14. Gallatin and Cookville are tied. So you take that. That's kind of a shocker right there.
Bob and Christian Kaposi will be on the road tomorrow for a 6 o'clock kickoff as Cumberland University travels to Campbellsville College to take on the Tigers. Campbellsville's 5-0, Cumberland's 4-0. That ought to be an outstanding football game, Bob.
Well, that's going to be one that we're really interested in, Tommy, because we're going to see where we stand. We're started off 4-0, but we're just now getting into our conference schedule, and they're playing good football right now. Offensively, they're really moving the football, and they're making stops on defense. Campbellsville has a good ball team this year, and that's going to be our first big test, and it'll be interesting to see how these Phoenix respond.
And in a college game at this level, you almost have to look at defensive play a little bit differently. You're going to give up points,
sure,
but you got to get some stops along the way and throw the other team, kind of throw them off their rhythm some, because shutouts are just non-existent at that level.
You're right, and I tell you what, it's easy to say this, but it's so true that it's the timing of those stops and turnovers. You can get one, but when you really have to have one, that's the key thing. When your momentum is going with you, and you can step in there and make a key stop.
Hector at Wilson Central, now an assistant, as Anthony kick, and Lebanon recovers it.
Good job. That's Jonah.
Jonah Gardner recovers that onside kick. They brought everybody in tight, and they kicked the dribbler, and Jonah Gardner was there to get his hands on it, and Lebanon will take over squarely at the 50-yard line. Hey, Pops, how was that? Did you like that one? Did you like that one?
I did, Tommy. I was trying to get on the scene. I said, we've got a highlight for the year right there, Tommy.
Inverted twins left for Lebanon at the midfield stripe. Tailback Edwards hits it off the left side, and Wilson Central rallies to the football. They get a lot of people around in just a 1-yard gain for Harrison Deuce Edwards.
And Preston Maddox. It'll be 2nd and 9.
2nd down and 9. Up front for Lebanon, Allen, Luna Garcia, Mofield, White, and Hinesley.
Well, Tommy, let me tell you this, though. The third quarter of tonight's game is sponsored by the Lebanon Police Department and Chief Mike Justice. The men and women in blue are proud to support the Big Blue.
Slot right set for Lebanon. Binion will be in the slot. Edwards runs to the short side of the field, breaks it down the boundary, cuts it back against the grain. Holy mackerel, that young man is gone to the house. 49 yards for a touchdown, Deuce Edwards.
Now we got a flag over on the sideline, but that's after the play. So that's going to be coming past the 35, I guess.
There is a penalty on the play. Sideline warning.
Yeah.
Lebanon.
Edwards ran it into the short side of the field. They had the split receivers to the wide side. Edwards got on the edge, and Gabe Allen and Luna Garcia with some blocks, and he took it to the house with 11:06 to go in the third quarter. Sideline warning, Lebanon. Joe, you've got the call of this PAT try.
Thank you. Our extra point team's back here on the track because they're trying to get back. Number 38, Tristan Phillips on to attempt. Number 3, Isaiah Mariah with a spot. Kick. He's going to trail off to the right. 11:06 to go in the third quarter. It's your Blue Devils 20, Wilson Central 6. More football after this 30-second timeout.
A kind word. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Quick in the third quarter, right out of halftime. Deuce Edwards, 49-yard TD run. Phillips unfortunately missed the PAT. That was a 50-yard three-play drive with 11:06 remaining in the third quarter. It's now 11-20. Wilson Central 6. Deuce Edwards now has 174 yards on 12 carries. That's
Well, he ought to get first down every time he touches it then.
Math department, very proud of Bob Lee. Bob ciphering.
Yeah, I'm ciphering.
Phillips just booms that kick down to the 4-yard line. He will be spun down after a nice return. On the return
Knocked out of bounds.
was Chaz Martin.
25-yard line.
Deontay Wilson on the tackle for Lebanon. Central will put it in play, 1st and 10. At their own 25-yard line, near hash mark. Wildcats trail in this one, 20-6. Remind me to tell you a quick Trey Perry story after this play. I'm thinking about everybody taking time off next week for fall break. Inverted twins left, Mayfield the quarterback, Allen in motion. Give it to Allen on a jet sweep around the right side. He will run that football out near the 30-yard line. I was talking to Trey Perry Wednesday night after our Wednesday night show, and he says, well, I'm only going to practice 2 times next week. I said, that's a headline right there that you guys are that you're not going to practice all week, because normally Mount Juliet practices all that time. And he said, well, we're going to give them a break. Everybody else is giving them a break, and we're going to get together and meet Sunday, practice Monday, and then shut it all down. And I looked at him. I says, I just don't believe you're going to do that. You don't ever do that. Trey's getting a little soft in his older age. Carry off the left side. Check it. That was McKeithen on that carry. Chico McKeithen. He goes by Antoine, but everybody up here calls him Chico. Senior, 5'8", 160. And last year, toward the tail end of the season, he was the man. He ran the ball a bunch and has kind of been banged up this season. 3rd down and 3. Football at the 32 for Wilson Central. Bunch set right. Mayfield rolls right as if to throw, in trouble. Ball is tipped, and it is incomplete.
Mayfield's pass incomplete.
Tipped by Moore, wasn't it? Quentin Moore?
It looked like Q Moore got a hand up, and he's a big defender up front.
One that got his hands up on that ball.
No. Nazita got his hands over here. It's either him or Carter. I apologize. They had ran Moore had the pressure as he threw it down the
see.
sideline. We knocked it out of bounds there on that 3 or 4 yard attempt.
Punt team on for Wilson Central. Arnold will snap it back to Fairman. Fehrman, Fairman. Punt is away. Stafford's going to field it on the run and get taken down. Nice return up until he was hit. Scott Middleton with the tackle, one of the interior linemen. But I liked what J.D. did there, Bob. He attacked and came up and caught the ball on the run.
Came up and catch the ball. You see it so much at this level that it hit the ground, and the roll means so much because you take the roll out of it and you don't get a lot of big punts.
Lebanon takes over. They will be in Wilson Central territory with a 20-6 lead. First and 10 Central, 9:19 to go here in the third. Two receivers right.
Oh my goodness. What is it now?
Lebanon was quickly to the line of scrimmage. They've called
snap infraction, I bet. No?
I didn't see the signal.
He said offsides.
He said encroachment.
Yeah.
Let me give y'all a clarification on the sideline warning again. He came over and said it was on number 50. Number 50 was our pulling guard on the play.
Oh, my goodness. Stack two receivers right. Tight end, wing back left. High snap. Mariah's just going to keep it and run it. Edwards blocking for him, and Isaiah will get it back to about the 45-yard line, and it was a high snap. Isaiah was debating, do I hand this thing off? And probably safety decided, hey, let's just keep this and run it.
I think we got by that time with only not enough men on the line of scrimmage because everybody on this side was off. And then you had some in the backfield as well. You had three in the backfield. We had five off the line.
Two receivers right, tight end left. Mariah in the gun has Edwards on his right side. Now Mariah changing the play. Edwards, power play, right up the middle. Deuce pops it. He's gone. Deuce Edwards has taken this one to the house. They saw something. They ran the inside zone power play, and boom, Edwards takes that thing all the way for a touchdown.
Didn't take him long to get there either.
Good grief. Deuce Edwards, time on that play, 8:21 on the touchdown. And Harrison Deuce Edwards is racking them up tonight. Joe, you've got the call.
Tristan Phillips on one more time to try to make this a 27-6 ball game. Snap, spot, and he does just that. 8:21 to go in the third. Your Blue Devils 27, the Wildcats of Wilson Central 6. More football after this 30-second timeout.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Well, you've said it before. Best game's the ones that you don't know they're there.
Yep.
All right, guys, Lebanon scores again, 54 yards on 4 plays. Edwards, 45 yards straight up the gut this time. Phillips with a PAT, and it's good. With 8:21 going in the third quarter, it's now Lebanon 27, Wilson Central 6. Edwards watch for the night now, 219 yards on 13 carries. That's 17 yards per carry, boys.
219 yards rushing, and he's also got a 30-something yard pass reception for a touchdown. Phillips' kick will be fielded at the 5-yard line. to the 10. Dances to the 20. Now he's got an alley down on the sideline, and he will be driven out of bounds here on the near boundary. On that return is Palmer for Wilson Central, and that was a nice return. He got it up the numbers and ran that thing into Lebanon territory. 1st and 10.
They're going to back it up to their 40.
Saying he stepped out.
Yeah, and Tristan Phillips in on helping push him out of bounds there for the tackle.
Saw Antioch and Mount Juliet play last night, and Antioch had a big, thick guy punting and kicking off, and he made a lot of tackles after kicking the ball. Mayfield hands the ball to McKeithen, running right, pulled down after a short gain on 1st down.
Stop by Stafford.
Gain is going to be to the 48-yard line, gain of 3.
It'll be 2nd and 8.
Offside, Wilson Central. They had somebody line up. Zone. The receiver's number one job, Bob, is to check with that near official and make sure he was in the right place.
Yeah, I'm not on the,
Am I on the line of scrimmage? And they'll tell you.
And it's, and it's easy when you're that far off the ball, when you're that far away from the ball.
Yeah.
That, you might get up a little bit too close to it or way off, and that's why you got to look to that official.
McKeithen tries the left end, runs it across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Chico McKeithen on the carry. Again, his first action in several weeks. Bottom of the pile for Lebanon, Deontay Wilson. Sophomore again. Busby, Azita, McPeak, Wilson, sophomores for Lebanon on that defensive side of the football. 3rd down and about 8 for the Wildcats. They trail in this one 27-6, 6:30 to go in the 3rd. 2 receivers will go right. Mayfield wants to throw. Pressured out of there and going to be pulled down. They blitzed Sherelle Simpkins from the backside, and the outside linebacker caught Mayfield for a quarterback sack. Simpkins with the sack as Lebanon dialed up a blitz on punt team out for Wilson Central. Furman to punt it. Lebanon will have 2 men back. Snap is there. Punts away. Ball takes a Lebanon bounce, and it will be down by Leshner. Leshner is a kid for Wilson Central, Bob, number 12 there.
Yeah.
Blew up his elbow in the preseason, and when he was finally able to come back and play, was wearing a brace. And then he breaks a bone in his hand, and he's wearing this big mitt on his hand. He was the emergency quarterback last year when Mayfield got hurt. He is a jack of all trades for Wilson Central and a gutsy young man.
Kind of like a Swiss Army knife.
Well, yeah. Penalty against Wilson Central.
Sideline warning.
Sideline warning on Central.
Well, good.
Had to get it even.
Turnabout's fair play, right?
They got 22 guys going to war out there.
Yeah.
And you're worried about the sideline. I'm sorry. Mariah, play fake, steps up, guns it deep.
Good
Has
pass.
a man back there to Damian Callaway, and he caught it.
He put air under the football.
He let Callaway run under it, and that ball is going to be down at about the 7-yard line.
Joe, that was a thing of beauty, wasn't it?
Well, thing of beauty, and it starts up front. He had a perfect pocket. He sat there in rhythm, bounced on the balls of his feet a couple of times, and like you said, put plenty of air under it. Good comeback for Callaway after he set that first quarter out.
Lebanon will split 2 receivers left, Binion and Callaway. Tight end will be on the right. Lebanon has it at the 6. They hit Edwards in the backfield. He makes a man miss. How'd he get out of that? He's going to run it inside the 5 to about the 1. And by all rights, he should have been dead at about the 6-yard line.
Like a wet bar of soap squirting through there. We get down to the 2-yard line.
Second and goal, Lebanon.
It's our crowd mic once again picking up. 4:26 and the clock runs. Edwards slow to get back in the huddle because they pulled his towel out.
He's tired. He's run a couple miles tonight.
Binion will split wide left. Mariah hands it to Edwards. Edwards with a little juke move, and that one was easy. That's a touchdown, Big Blue. And a flag on the play. A flag after Edwards gets in the end zone.
There's 2 or 3 now.
Yeah, they'll be offsetting.
Edwards with the touchdown. And Dustin Brady, offensive coordinator, escorting several Lebanon players to the sideline, telling them, hey, get over here and let's get this thing over with. Hinesley was one of them. They were leading off the field. Tempers running high as Lebanon went on top 33-6 as Edwards with a short touchdown run after that long bomb from Mariah to Damian Callaway.
This one official's going to have to get dressed. He threw his hat off, his shirt off, took his shoe off. He threw everything he had in the world there trying to.
They've only got so many flags,
Yeah.
so you just start throwing whatever you can throw, I guess.
Flag, beanbag, a hat.
Well, the officials.
3:59.
Here comes the signals. This will be like semaphore. Well, wish I could tell you what's going on, but they're not giving any signals yet. Okay. They held up a 3. Personal foul. Personal
Offset,
foul.
What'd I say? Offset
personal
penalty.
fouls.
Personal fouls.
Personal foul. Lebanon.
Additional personal foul, Lebanon.
On the kickoff.
Okay, so offsetting personal fouls, and then Lebanon got in an extra one,
Yeah.
which will back the Blue Devils up on the kickoff.
That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So, Joe, have at it, my man.
Thank you, Tommy. Get all the participants calm down just a little here. And again, part of it's celebration, Lebanon letting off a lot of steam as, you know, if it's been a challenge for us offensively this year. And getting another word from the officials here. Let me listen. Just trying to make sure there's no ejections or anything along those lines. I'm not going to give numbers because, again, it's just a bunch of them in there pushing and shoving. But there was one individual that, after he'd been told, had a late shove, and I think that's what the issue was. I'll try to clarify a little further. 38, Tristan Phillips on to attempt. Mariah's going to set it down. Snap. Kick. Good. 3:59. Still to go in the third quarter of this long ball game. Your Blue Devils 34. Wilson Central 6. Back in 30.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Lebanon scores again, this time 55 yards in 4 plays. Deuce Edwards with his 4th touchdown of the night. Goes in from 2 yards out. Phillips with a PAT was good with 3:59 remaining in your third quarter. It is now Lebanon 34, Wilson Central 6.
How many yards for Edwards now, Donald?
226 yards rushing, and he also has a 36-yard TD pass. So he's
250 from scrimmage?
250, yeah, all over it.
Good.
And
can we not get him involved in the kicking game?
Excuse me, that's 5 touchdowns. He's got 4 rushing and the pass, so he's got 5 touchdowns.
Feed him.
Phillips will kick it off. High kick. It will come down and go out of bounds. So there are options Wilson Central have available to them. Make Lebanon kick it again. Take it there. Or make them kick it again, and that looks like that's what they're going to do.
They're going to make them kick it again. I guess maybe if you're struggling a little on offense, maybe you can try to get special teams in on it to help
try
you.
to pop one.
Yeah, pop one loose.
The Palmer had a nice return on that most recent one.
5-yard penalty. It'll be assessed on the kick. The ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. Lebanon kicking again.
We want to say thanks to Jay Doc Holliday and his staff for making us comfortable up here tonight. They've done their best to help us with internet and some issues. Doc trained Christian Capozzi.
Yeah.
And good training ground for broadcasters and camera people here at Wilson Central. Phillips will kick it off once again for Lebanon.
Good kick.
That will go down the middle of the field, and Palmer will have to retreat to the 20-yard line to field it. He will run that thing back to about the 35-yard line. Austin Harrison on the tackle for Lebanon. And 1st and 10 Wildcats with 3:53 to go in the third. You know, we noticed last week at Watertown they shortened the fourth quarter. Apparently the officials and the coaches spoke before the game about that, said if we get to a certain point, let's take some time off, and they had made that decision. Now, they didn't tell us, but they don't have to tell us. But probably a wise decision in that 27-7 win last week for Lebanon at Watertown. Hand it to McKeithen. They pull 2 guards and try to get him out on the right side, and he will struggle to pick up maybe a yard or 2 on that play. They pulled Foreman to try to get him on the edge.
They're going to be generous, give him a couple.
McKeithen slow to come to the sideline. Cameron Nichols, senior, goes into the game for Wilson Central, all of 134 pounds. "70 degrees out there. It was 88 when I walked into the parking lot here. 2 receivers left. They will put the tight end Leschner on the right. Mayfield scrambles, going to be taken down by Jawan Stafford.
You know, we've called Jawan's name a lot tonight. He's been a whole lot more active tonight than he has been in the past few weeks. Joe, have you noticed him
Well, he was on the shelf, with that cervical thing, and we talked about it the second series, that sometimes a week or two with the bye coming up next week, you hate it for momentum, but hopefully we'll be that much stronger in 2 weeks.
Slot left, tight end right, 3rd down and 4, ball at the 42. Mayfield wants to throw. Here comes the pressure. Gets it away under duress, and that pass incomplete.
Mayfield's pass intended for Rao.
And one of his backs, I believe that was Chaz Martin, sacrificed his body to protect Mayfield as he scrambled. He got Jawan Stafford and got him blocked, because I think if Stafford had gotten to him, he may have decapitated Mayfield.
Yeah, he was.
Actually, Tommy, it was Jordan Jewell that came on a blitz right up the middle, and he used Chaz Martin as a projectile. He threw him past the quarterback.
Oh, gosh. 2 receivers left on a 4th down and 4 from the 42. Mayfield wants to throw. Stafford after him. Here comes the rush again, and he is sacked. That is Simpkins, Sherrell Simpkins, a junior. Lebanon brought the kitchen sink that time. Everybody on Mayfield, and the ball goes over on downs. Simpkins with at least his 2nd sack of the night.
We've got 3 now, and both of them were on 4th downs, and now we have 3 for the night, 3 sacks for minus 20 yards.
Well, let's see. Less than 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Maybe we can get Edwards involved in the offense here.
Edwards will set up as a tailback behind Mariah in a pistol set. Edwards tries the left side. He will be ridden down after a gain of about 4 yards. Schoenbachler on the tackle.
Brought down by A.J. Schoenbachler.
For Wilson Central.
5 and 2nd and 5.
That's going to kill his average.
Yeah.
Lebanon leads 34-6. 2nd and 5 at the 5. Lebanon with a good crowd here tonight.
Yeah, they do have a good crowd across the way.
Slot right. Searcy and Binion, those 2 receivers. Hand it to Edwards. Little hesitation move in the backfield. Gets it. Moves that football forward.
And you know, Tommy, watching Edwards run the football, it's the patience that he has to wait till that hole develops and has that little jump cut to where he can hit the hole and get to that second level.
Then he's got that afterburner he can kick in.
Yeah.
So once he gets there,
yeah,
party's over. 3rd down and 4, ball at the 33-yard line. Mariah will send Edwards in motion. Pre-snap whistle. Illegal procedure, Lebanon.
And another thing, Tommy, on Edwards, last year at Mount, an outside guy. I mean, they would hand it to him, just let him be. It has impressed me how he's able to run between the tackles and not bounce everything. And I've been really impressed with him so far.
Joe, that's a good point, because he's shown it's not just a speed guy. I mean, he can take the hits, tackles, and get knocked around and push the pile forward.
And not a big guy.
No, but he runs a whole lot bigger than what he is.
Binion will split wide to the right, inverted twins left. Whoops. Mariah on a sweep of right end will be thrown to the wolves and thrown out of bounds.
And sometimes he decides he don't want to take that.
Well, hey, the horn sounded. He thought the quarter was over.
And don't forget to post the pick hashtag.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter as we regroup here at Wilson Central. Lebanon leads by a score of 34-6. 12 minutes of regulation football to go. We'll take a 60 and be right back.
A kind word, a firm handshake, and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Fourth quarter is brought to you by Shop Springs Creamery, 2816 Sparta Pike, where the corn maze is now open. Shop Springs Creamery is the official chocolate milk of Blue Devil football.
Fourth down for Lebanon. Fourth and about 6. Line of scrimmage is going to be the Wilson Central 35. Lebanon will have 2 backs in the backfield with Mariah. Isaiah rolls right, cranks up a throw, has a man back there. A long pass is caught by Callaway down to the 1-yard line. Bob, he laid that one right in there.
He did.
Max protection, Joe. They kept 2 backs in the backfield, and now a late flag.
We have a late flag, but before that, guys, the referee, he was forced out of bounds, but he didn't quickly get back in. He ran 3 or 4 steps and got out of bounds. They're going to have a discussion. Now, that has nothing to do with the post penalty there, but they may wipe it off, as the official just said. I think he was forced out to Coach Gentry.
Regardless, wonderful throw by Isaiah Mariah.
It was a pretty throw.
We've critiqued his throwing all year long, but he's laid 2 of them out there tonight.
Just dropped them in the bucket.
And Callaway, who did not play in the first half,
made 2 big catches here.
Has made 2 nice plays. That'll be 1st and goal, Lebanon. They will spot it at the 1. High snap. Gian Azita, touchdown, Big Blue. Gian takes it off left guard, off the block
now there's
of Giovanni Luna Garcia.
Now there's another flag.
Gabe Allen is being told by his teammates to put a sock in it and get to the sideline. Well, let's see what we got. Second foul, Lebanon.
Get clarification, because that will have implications for the first half in 2 weeks. Snap is low. Mariah does a great job of putting the ball down and filling.
A firm handshake and treating others the way you'd want to be treated. That's just how we do things in Tennessee. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
Tonight, mainly on the team with the white jerseys, Lebanon.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too, to have a game like this where you're really, having a good ball game, but why do you stink it up by doing that?
9 penalties for 85 yards against Lebanon tonight. Well, selfish is the word I used.
You got to have your composure.
And if you get kicked out in the second half of this game, you miss the first half of the next game. Phillips with a kick. Fielded on the boundary. Wilson Central's return man was Perkins.
Get up to the 45-yard line.
Karanye Perkins. Karanye Perkins with the return. Is that right?
Yeah.
1st and 10, Wilson Central at their own 45-yard line. 10:58 to go in this one. Once again, stay with WANT after the game for the scoreboard show, the Fakes and Hooker scoreboard show. And then tomorrow, you get to hear Bob and Christian Kaposi as Cumberland goes to Campbellsville.
Gregory!
Tailback, McKeithen. runs right, taking down Juwan Stafford on that play. Jewel there to help him up from the ground, but Juwan Stafford, several tackles tonight. Just a junior. Just think what that cat's going to be another year in the weight room.
Yeah.
Running clock here in Gladeville. Split receiver left, one right. Tailback, quarterback runs it right, and he's hit in the backfield. Colby Scott, sophomore quarterback, getting some work for Wilson Central. Zone read, and he's going to lose yards on that play.
McPeak came in, brought the pain on that one. It's a pretty hard hit.
Colby Scott, sophomore quarterback. Mayfield now comes into the game. Topher Allen out. Nichols out. Two receivers go wide right for Wilson Central. Mayfield rolls to his right, being pressured, gets it away just before Stafford takes him to the ground. Stafford's having a field day over there. Pass incomplete in the flat. Damon Calloway on coverage. But Joe, at this point in the game, they've just turned that defensive line loose and say, sick 'em.
Well, you can pin your ears back, guy, with a lead like this. And I'll say this about Juwan. Pressed a little at the first of the year. A lot of expectations for that young man coming out of last year. And sometimes when that happens, if you take a step back and reset, which he did that, it benefits you.
Punt by Wilson Central. Punt is away. Lebanon has nobody deep. Just going to let that one roll. 8 minutes to go in the game. Arnold, the young man who snapped it, downs it. Wilson Central takes over at their own 29-yard line.
Baseball is a proud supporter of Wilson Central football, but they're more than just salt. They're a winner of Best Spot 8 years in a row. Score a touchdown at Third Coast Salt Baseball.
A lot of clean jerseys out there. Austin Harrison will be at quarterback. C.J. Woodson will be the tailback for Lebanon. Two receivers right. Woodson runs it right. Woodson into the second level. Woodson will have a first down. C.J. Woodson across the 40-yard line to the 41.
Nice little run, getting on the outside, get around the corner, and then cutting it upfield.
Now they bring it back to the 40. Liberal substitutions now for both football teams. Leshner gets a well-deserved break. I don't know that kid ever comes off the field for Central.
He's got so many mechanisms on his arm right there, I don't know.
Austin Harrison at quarterback. C.J. Woodson the tailback. Two receivers on the right for Lebanon. Four-man front for Central. Austin letting the play clock run. Tailback, Woodson on the right side. Hit in the backfield, spins away. Will pick up a yard or two. Should have been down behind the line of scrimmage. On the tackle for Wilson Central was Evan Bragg. Out of the game, Kylan Davis, senior defensive lineman for Wilson Central. Second down and 9, clock at 5:45 and running. Two receivers go left for Lebanon. Another good run as he crosses the 45-yard line to about the 47.
Yep.
Once again, Bragg on the tackle for Wilson Central.
It'll be 3rd and 3.
Five minutes to go in this one. Fall break coming up. No games next week. What will I do on a Friday night? Slot left for Lebanon. Two high safeties for Central. Woodson's hitting the backfield, and he will be spun down. Nowhere to go for CJ. On that tackle, Scott Middleton, senior defensive tackle for Wilson Central with the tackle for loss.
Nice little play. Got good penetration back there and stopped him in the backfield.
Drummond in the offensive line for Lebanon. Skeet Sharp for Owen. Well, Lebanon taking their sweet time in the huddle. Timeout, Lebanon. 4th down and long. They'll bring the punt team out to kick this one away. I'm looking for some more updates, Bob. I don't see. Oh, here we go. Middle of the 3rd, Friendship leads PCA 44-43.
Good gracious, that is a shootout.
And then one from Donald Gann is that Cookeville has now pulled ahead of Cookeville. Gallatin, excuse me, 38-21.
38-21.
And the last score we have on Giles County, Watertown, that game in Pulaski, 28-0.
Yeah, that was in the
Giles
half,
County
half,
at the
yeah.
half.
TriStar Moving, the full licensed and insured moving company. They offer residential, commercial, and local anywhere within the Tennessee state line. That's TriStar Moving.
Okay, let's see if I can get an update on this Purple Tiger game. 36-7. Giles County leads with 2:22 to go in the 3rd. 36-7 late in the 3rd. Giles County leads Watertown. Phillips punt is away, an end-over-end punt. It's going to hit and back up and roll dead.
Uh-oh.
And it looked like some extracurriculars over on the Lebanon sideline as that punt, where everybody was watching the ball roll.
Yeah. Yeah, had two get tangled up right there, but I don't know. Didn't see to what extent that was.
There's another update, 35-22 Giles County. Watertown with a little spurt there in the 4th quarter, 35-22 Giles County. Thank you, number 1, for that update.
Penalties on Wilson Central is what they said.
Thank you. Joe, did you see what transpired on the sideline?
Yeah, they're going to call that on Wilson Central. I believe it would just be a personal foul against them. They had one of their guys kind of a little extracurricular carrying it off. One of our guys did run over here and kind of try to be an enforcer a little, but I think the official give him the benefit of the doubt. On Allen, I think we're good with him. I think they just warned him and they just set him along with Jack Greer and some of our other little ill-tempered kids, some, to make sure we don't have any incidents going out the rest of this game.
Well, that's good. And go ahead and be proactive and get those guys out of the game. Two receivers right, tailback, quarterback runs it back against the grain. He's got some running room. And he will run that thing out near the 45-yard line. That is Scott, the backup quarterback for Wilson Central. One of their better gains of the evening. Colby Scott, sophomore quarterback, on that run.
Nice run there by Scott.
2:26 to go in this one. 41-6, Lebanon leads.
Got Connor Burchett in there, the linebacker spot. So I'm seeing a 33 that I don't have.
For us?
Yes.
Scott at quarterback. Rolls left. He's just going to run quarterback sweep. And Stafford throws him to the ground. It's a different Stafford. This Stafford with the tackle was the sophomore. That's Jaden Stafford, Jaden Stafford.
Yeah, he's a defensive end, tight end. He's got a lot of upside to him. He's just a sophomore.
We got Big Mike out there, Bob. Freshman, 75.
Big Mike.
Good grief. He's taking up a hole and a half out there. Tailback runs right.
Almost
made the play there was our big freshman.
Clemens with the carry. Stop by.
Big Mike.
It's Clemens.
Clemens on the carry. Darren Clemens. Joe, I know he's a freshman. What's his last name?
Stewart, ain't it?
Stewart. Yeah, Michael
I've called him
Stewart.
Big Mike since he played 6th grade for me. Michael Stewart is his name, and he walked up to me at 6th grade at Walter J. about 2 days before the season started. He said, "I'm a little late." I said, "That's okay. Here's your jersey. Come on."
19 seconds to go in this one, and the ball will not be snapped.
Well, they called something on Wilson Central also.
Well, time's going to run out before they do it.
Your final score from Gladeville, 41, Wilson Central 6. Lebanon will improve to 3-4. Central will drop to 2-5. Everybody's headed into fall break. Jeremiah, let's take a 3-minute break if you would, sir. 3 minutes, and we'll be back with our post-game wrap-up after telling you one more time Lebanon defeats Wilson Central 41-6 at Central. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Mike, I'm not lying. We work a lot of places, and you are